The following program is sponsored by SHP Financial.
Do you think you could pass a basic test about planning for retirement? Hi, I'm Jackie Bruno, and welcome to Retirement Roadmap TV. You might be surprised to learn that a research study featured in Forbes found that most Americans lack some basic and important knowledge about retirement planning. In fact, participants in the study were asked to take a simple test about planning for retirement, and 80% of them failed. What's even more troubling is that nearly all of these participants believed they were very knowledgeable or somewhat knowledgeable about saving for a comfortable retirement. Is it possible you could be overconfident and underprepared for your retirement? Coming up on today's show, you'll discover the most important things you need to know that could help you retire successfully today.
Saving for retirement is a great start, but it's what you do with this money that really matters. How will you reduce your taxes in retirement, generate income, minimize investment risk, and pay for the skyrocketing cost of healthcare? Welcome to Retirement Roadmap TV with Gregoire from SHP Financial. Derek's been featured in Forbes and the Wall Street Journal, and he's the co-founder of SHP Financial with offices throughout Greater Boston. This is where you can count on straightforward advice about how you can make the most out of every dollar you've saved for retirement.
Saving and investing for retirement is a great start, but it's what you do with this money that really matters. Hi, I'm Jackie Bruno, and welcome to Retirement Roadmap TV. Joining us is Gregoire. He's been featured in Forbes, Wall Street Journal, and co-founded SHP Financial in 2003, where you're helping families in the Greater Boston area really prepare for what's coming down the road in their financial futures. So, Derek, so good to see you.
Always good to see you too, Jackie.
Absolutely. So I saw this fact that 80% of Americans failed a basic test when it came to retirement planning. That's alarming, and these people were pretty confident according to this survey. So where do so many people go wrong when it comes to retirement planning?
Well, Jackie, we have the opportunity to meet with hundreds of families every year to help them plan for retirement. In a lot of cases, these families have done a good job of saving for retirement. Typically, folks we see, they've saved anywhere from $500,000 up to several $1,000,000. Now, most of these families have also been good investors, and they have a portfolio of stocks, bonds, mutual funds. But that's their entire financial game plan. Saving and investments, right? They grow their nest egg as much as they can, and that's all they have. This is not a plan, that's just a portfolio.
So what are people missing?
Well, I actually have a great illustration for you that I'd like to kind of go through, if that's all right.
Absolutely. I think that when we see it, it really sticks.
Completely agree, Jackie. So think about retirement planning like an iceberg, right? An iceberg seems simple. There's a big chunk of ice on top of the water, but in reality, that's the smallest part of the iceberg. There's far more ice beneath the surface. With retirement planning, what you see above the water is a fraction of the whole. You see, the top of the iceberg with retirement is what we call saving and investing for retirement. It's just investments, a pile of investments. Super important, but it's easy to focus on, and it's all many financial advisors ever talk about. However, if you want to retire successfully, you need to look beneath the surface. The next layer that we look at, and it's super important, is taxes. Taxes that you'll pay in retirement. And taxes could be your largest expense in retirement, like taxes on your 401k and IRA withdrawals, taxes on your Social Security benefits, taxes on your investment gains, as well as other investment income. And many people are blown away when we estimate the total taxes that they'll owe in retirement. In fact, you could pay more in taxes in retirement than you were when you were working. However, if you take advantage of some simple tax-saving strategies, you could save a small fortune in retirement. I'll show you. This is what we call the SHP tax triangle, and it represents the different tax categories for the savings that you have. Everyone talks about diversifying your investments, but you're going to see how important it is to diversify your assets from the tax code and the tax bucket where they exist. So first, we have the after-tax bucket, right? These are things such as CDs, savings accounts, brokerage accounts, and so on. Basically, it's money that you've paid taxes on. However, when you grow this money or it generates income, you'll pay more taxes, right? The next bucket we have is pre-tax. And for most people, when they come to us for the first time, they have unfortunately 80% or more usually of their retirement savings here. And this is things like your traditional IRA, 401k, 403b, anything tax deferred, and you've never paid a single dollar in taxes on any of this money, so when it comes out, guess what? It's fully taxable. This can trigger huge tax bills in retirement. And to access this money, you'll owe taxes at whatever the current rates are, which we don't know what they'll be. And a lot of people think they could be a lot higher down the road. And if your money grows, guess what? Your future tax bill grows with it. And then finally, we have the best pocket or bucket, whatever you want to call it, of money, and that's tax-free. For example, a Roth IRA or a Roth 401k. And so the goal here of this tax triangle is to look for ways, how do we get the bottom two buckets of after-tax and pre-tax up to tax-free? Well, on the after-tax side, we can do that through things such as Roth IRA contributions if you're eligible, or Roth 401k contributions, right? That moves it from tax after-tax to tax-free. On the other side, we can move it from pre-tax to tax-free through things called Roth conversions. And this is not something you want to run out and do it, without any strategy, because it takes really a lot of discipline, strategy, and you have to look within certain tax brackets each year to make sure it's the right fit for you. And sometimes it's a process over many years. However, once you pay the taxes, you're done. It's tax-free. Even the growth on your investments is tax-free. And even if you pass away, that Roth bucket passes on to your heirs tax-free, and they can delay it over many years. Also, this money is not subject to required minimum distributions or mandatory withdrawals, which is a huge benefit. Savings from this move can be enormous, and some families that we work with save tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes. Now, this is a result of true, deep financial planning, the stuff below the surface that most people never see. And you never see all these opportunities if all you did was shallow planning.
Absolutely, and that sounds great. So what's the next layer?
The next layer of the iceberg, we saw how important taxes were in investments, but we also have to look at income, right? This includes Social Security benefits, when to trigger it, how to maximize these Social Security benefits, but also just coming up with a plan to cover your expenses, because once you stop working, the paycheck stops, that's it. Income is going to be king in retirement. But you have to be careful, because as you trigger certain benefits and take income, it could trigger higher taxes or even double your Medicare premiums. So you can see all this works together. It's really about finding income strategies to cover your expenses as part of the bigger plan. As we go deeper, we see healthcare. Healthcare is so expensive today, not just Medicare, what about long-term care? And the costs just keep going up. And you definitely don't want an unexpected illness to completely derail your retirement, so you have to create a plan around healthcare. And then finally, we see legacy planning or estate planning. When I ask, what's your plan to protect your spouse, your kids, everything you work for? In most cases, people don't have an answer. They know it's important, but they put it off. Or the estate plan is way out of date, which could be a recipe for disaster. If you don't have a buttoned-up plan, your estate could be taxed more than it needs to be, both by the government as well as certain states like Massachusetts. And worse, you could be leaving a giant mess for your family.
Yeah, so this is a whole lot more, like you were saying, it's more complicated.
Oh, for sure. If you just focus on saving and investing, that's shallow retirement planning. Unfortunately, too many people come to us from other advisors and they're underprepared because they just have a shallow plan. But if you go deep below the surface and you look at all these areas of planning, it could make your money go a lot further in retirement. So I ask you, and Jackie as well, would you rather have a shallow plan or a deep plan?
I mean, I think deep, right?
Absolutely. I mean, a deep plan means you're prepared. If you want to make the most out of every dollar you've saved, a deep, comprehensive plan could make your money go a lot further in retirement. Imagine if you could make $1 million in retirement savings work more as if it was close to $2 million. It would be a game changer, right? But it can also be the opposite. It can go the opposite way. And if you don't have a comprehensive financial game plan, $1 million in retirement savings could disappear a lot faster than you thought.
That makes a lot of sense.
Jackie, one more thing. There's another way to look at it. If you're sitting here today and you're retiring, you could expect, God willing, 20 to 30 years of retirement ahead of you. And that's a long time. So the question is, do you have a financial plan that'll go the distance, that'll make the most out of your savings for you and your spouse? If you have a shallow plan, you're leaving it to chance. You could run into trouble. And when 70% of Americans say they're afraid of running out of money in retirement, this is exactly what they're afraid of. Because once you're retired, it could be almost impossible to recover. On the other hand, if you have a deep plan that goes below the surface, where essentials and contingencies are covered, you're prepared, you're confident, things could even get better every year. So the question is, which path are you on right now? And are you ready to thrive for the next 20 to 30 plus years of your retirement?
So how do you start figuring this out? What path that you're on now, what path you have to get to?
So, Jackie, we can actually predict it pretty well with what we call a retirement score. First, we gather some basic information about where you are today. Then we input this information that you give us into our proprietary system to get your current retirement score. Next, we look at the retirement planning strategies that could dramatically improve your chances for success. This might include strategies to reduce your taxes in retirement, pay for health care, generate income, minimize investment risk, create an estate plan, and more. And now you can see clearly how this can make your money go a lot further in retirement. This is our SHP Retirement Roadmap. It's a customized financial game plan designed specifically for you. Now, most advisors, as you can imagine, charge thousands of dollars for a customized plan like this. But we won't charge you a dime for this comprehensive analysis. And you know what? It's totally up to you if you want to implement it.
Derek, thank you so much. Incredibly valuable information. So if you want to find out your retirement score and how you can make the most out of every dollar you've saved for retirement with a free customized SHP Retirement Roadmap, you can schedule your free analysis now by calling 508-233-4340. That's 508-233-4340. There's no cost or obligation, but this offer is only available if you call today. So call 508-233-4340, and minimums do apply. Coming up next, we'll share what a real-life retirement score can look like and how you could build a better retirement with a comprehensive financial game plan. We'll be right back.
You're watching Retirement Roadmap TV with Derek Gregoire from SHP Financial. This is where you can count on straightforward advice about how you can make the most out of every dollar you've saved for retirement. And now back to Retirement Roadmap TV.
Welcome back. I'm Jackie Bruno, and you're watching Retirement Roadmap TV. Saving and investing for retirement, it's a great start, but it's really what you do with the money that really matters. So joining us is Derek Gregoire, who's been featured in Forbes, The Wall Street Journal, and you co-founded SHP Financial in 2003, helping families throughout the greater Boston area plan for retirement. Derek, thanks so much for joining us today. I want to dive right back into that retirement score and how it can really prepare people for their future.
Absolutely, and thank you so much, Jackie. Now, we've met with thousands of families to help them figure out if they're on the right track to enjoy a successful retirement. And it starts with their current retirement score. This tells us how deep or shallow their financial game plan is at this point. Then we help them figure out little tweaks that could improve their chances for success. And these little improvements could make a huge difference with their retirement savings. So we had this couple, Tom and Mary, and they came to us with just shy of $2 million saved for retirement, which is a good number. And Jackie, it's a good place for them to be.
Absolutely. I heard that the average American thinks they need about $1.5 million to retire. Is that true? Is that successful?
That's right on paper, I guess, but it's different for every single person. There's no magic number. You know, 1 million might be all one family needs, but 10 million might not be enough for another family. And we've had clients that have had several million that can't retire because they have boats and houses everywhere, and it's just everyone's different. So Tom and Mary came to us, and Mary was planning to retire at 61 and Tom at 66. And we started the first part of our process gathering information about them to understand their current financial picture now and their game plan for retirement. And like many people that we meet for the first time in our office, their plan was focused on just the tip of the iceberg. Their last advisor was just focused on investments, which is important. We do that here at SHP. But they just had a portfolio of stocks and bonds, and that was it. That was their entire financial game plan for retirement.
And that's what you called a shallow plan, right?
You are catching on, Jackie. That's exactly it. So on the retirement planning iceberg, they were just looking at what's above the surface. So we plugged them into our process. We ran their numbers through 1,000 potential future scenarios, both good and bad. What could happen in the markets, the economy, or even them personally. And it gave us a score for Tom and Mary.
So what was that score?
So they were set to enter retirement with a score of 75. Now this means that 75% of the possible future scenarios that we considered, they would be just fine, no problem. Now, that's not the worst that we've seen, but it's certainly far from the best. And frankly, we're not comfortable with a score of 75, even if you have a couple $1,000,000. It's just not good enough, Jackie.
Oh, no, why not?
Well, because that's way too much risk. Look, for everyone watching, you only want to retire once, let's face it. But this is saying there's a 1 in 4 chance that you could run out of money in retirement. So imagine this. You board a plane and the captain announces, hey, by the way, you have a 75% chance of arriving safely at your destination. I'm sure I would be scrambling for the door. And just based on what we know about average lifespans and people living longer, either one of them could end up living another 30 years. And the last thing that we want, the last thing that they want, is to be struggling financially in the last chapters of their life. That would be horrible.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It sounds like a nightmare.
It can be, but there's actually some good news here, some great news actually, because we were able to work with Tom and Mary, go through their plan on a much deeper level than the surface. And with each decision we made, we could see how it could have a positive impact on their retirement score as well as their overall chances for success.
So what happened to Tom and Mary?
So what we did, Jackie, is we looked at their investment accounts and their savings, 401ks, IRAs. And we also looked at the potential downside risk of these investments. Like so many other people, they were taking far more risks than they knew or that they needed to at this stage of the game of retirement. You know, we always talk about it's insane to risk what you have in order to obtain what you don't need. I believe that was a Warren Buffett quote. So in fact, we showed them how to adjust their portfolio in a way that could protect about $134,000 of their retirement savings if, God forbid, we saw another downturn, like the Great Recession, during their retirement.
Yeah, that could make a huge difference.
All these little things add up, Jackie. And we also looked at their income needs in retirement and where their income was going to come from and the tax liability of the income. We looked at their potential taxes overall in retirement, taxes on Social Security benefits, IRA and 401k withdrawals, and other investment income. Their total estimated tax bill in retirement was going to be huge. And until this meeting, it was completely ignored. No one had ever talked to them about tax planning, which is crazy to me. So in fact, we showed them a strategy based on their unique situation that could save them more than $157,000 in taxes. Not only that, we estimated the total return from this strategy could add about $668,000 to their nest egg in the long run. Money they never would have had if they had just focused on their portfolio.
Wow, these things can really add up quickly. So what else did you do for them, Derek?
Well, beyond that, that was a lot, but we also talked to them about commonly overlooked expenses in retirement, like health care, long-term care, and what their plan was going to be to pay for them. And finally, we talked about their plan for their estate. Tom had a huge concern about Mary because if he passed first, he wanted to make sure she was taken care of. They were concerned about kids, grandkids, and if anything had done, we talked about, has anything been done to protect everyone from the unnecessary taxes of your estate, which could be a big deal today. In the end, we were able to take them from a 74 score, retirement score of 75, all the way to 98. That's obviously a huge jump, and that gives them a lot more confidence and hopefully sets them up for a lot more security in retirement.
Okay, I'm trying to get my brain around this. Let's back this up because it's not like you just gave them a bunch of money, their savings didn't change. So what made the difference here? Are you a magician?
No, I do like magic though, Jackie.
There you go.
That's a great question. You know, their savings didn't change, but their plan did. The plan addressed a handful of the most critical issues, and ultimately, this can make Tom and Mary's $2 million go a lot further in retirement, a lot further. Initially, they came to us wondering, can we afford to retire? And by the time we were done, they're so excited to talk about all the possibilities with this money that they didn't know they had. It goes from problem solving to finding new opportunities, but it starts with figuring out your retirement score and using that to build your SHP financial retirement roadmap.
Okay, I'm so excited for them, but how does this work?
Yeah, first, Jackie, we gather some basic information from you. We just need to get a good handle on your current financial situation and the extent of any planning that you've done up to this point. Whether it's a lot, a little, doesn't matter. Then we run through the system and figure out your retirement score. Next, we look at the strategic moves that you can make today that could raise your retirement score. And this is also what could make your money go a lot further in retirement. Now, many advisors may charge thousands of dollars for a customized retirement plan like this, but we do all the heavy lifting for you, and the game plan won't cost you a dime. Once you see what this plan can do for you, your family, and your savings, I think you'll be pretty amazed.
I'm really amazed. It sounds incredible. A great opportunity. Thanks so much, Derek. And if you'd like to discover your retirement score and how you can make your money go a lot further in retirement with a free, customized retirement roadmap from SHP Financial, you're watching the right program. So over the last 20 years, they have helped thousands of Boston area families plan for a better retirement. And now they can help you. Schedule your free analysis now by calling 508-233-4340. Got your pen? It's 508-233-4340. There's no cost or obligation, but this offer is only available if you call today. So call 508-233-4340. Minimums do apply. Coming up next, what about you? What's your ideal retirement plan, and are you on track to enjoy it?
You're watching Retirement Roadmap TV with Derek Gregoire from SHP Financial. This is where we tackle the toughest challenges with retirement planning today, like reducing your taxes, generating income, minimizing your investment risk, and paying for the skyrocketing cost of healthcare. And now back to Retirement Roadmap TV.
Welcome back. I'm Jackie Bruno, and you're watching Retirement Roadmap TV. Saving and investing for retirement, really a great start, but it's what you do with this money that really matters. So joining us is Derek Gregoire, who's been featured in Forbes, Wall Street Journal, and co-founded SHP Financial back in 2003, helping families in Greater Boston really make sense of their future retirement plans. Derek, thanks so much for joining us today. So if someone is looking at their retirement, wondering, is it enough? Is it okay? What's your advice?
Good question, Jackie. And first and foremost, there's no such thing as this magic number. Just because you've saved X amount of money doesn't guarantee that you'll retire successfully. So it's important to objectively look at your current financial situation and ask, what's our plan beyond just saving for retirement? And then ask yourself the important questions based on what we've talked about today. For example, what are your anticipated expenses in retirement? How is your money invested? How much is dedicated to generating income, to growth, to stability? And does this match your appetite for risk? Do you know how much money you can safely withdraw from your IRA and 401k every year? Taxes. We've talked about it. They could be a huge deal for you in retirement. So what is your plan to address this issue and reduce these taxes, which could save you a ton of money in retirement? Social Security, also very critical. Does your filing decision consider the impact of taxes on those benefits? Does it consider your IRA and 401k withdrawals and other investment income? What's your plan to pay for health care, Medicare premiums, long-term care? How do you insulate yourself from major expenses if, God forbid, you, your spouse, God forbid one of your children have a serious illness? These are just some critical questions that need to be answered before you can pull the ripcord and call it quits. And if you can't check all the boxes here, you're just winging it, and you could be taking a huge and unnecessary risk. Now, I want to return to those graphics if you don't mind, Jackie.
I don't mind that at all. It really helps me visualize the process.
Sure thing. If you're retiring in good health today, your plan has to cover 2 or 3 decades of retirement, if not more. You don't want trouble. You want your ideal retirement that enables you to do all the things that you want to do, like traveling, spending the winter somewhere warm, helping your grandkids with college, and more. The thing is, today you're at a fork in the road. One path could lead to your ideal retirement, the other could lead to serious problems. And right now, the distance between the two is as small as it'll ever be. So you want to make sure that you're headed in the right direction and not drifting. You know, a little drift can be fixed, but in 20 years from now, there could be a huge gap between where you're heading and where you want to be.
So what's your recommendation?
Jackie, in short, make sure that you're on track right now. We start with your current retirement score, what your current plan covers right now and its chances for success. Maybe you're like Tom and Mary and you've been good savers and you're in pretty good shape, but going deeper could help you maximize these savings. Remember, even at a score of a 75, there was a 1 in 4 chance they'd face big financial trouble during their retirement. However, we got that up to a 98, a plan that gave them a 98% probability of enjoying their ideal retirement. Not because they suddenly had more retirement savings, but because they had a deeper, comprehensive plan.
And that's what you do every day for clients at SHP Financial, right?
Yeah, since 2003, Jackie. And like the iceberg, we go much deeper than just saving and investing for retirement. We cover all the layers: taking advantage of tax strategies, maximizing your Social Security benefits and other opportunities, covering your healthcare expenses, as well as steps to help protect your legacy and your estate.
So your team covers all those layers in our so-called iceberg.
Yes, we do, Jackie. We created the SHP Retirement Roadmap from the ground up to cover every part of the deep retirement planning we've been talking about today. It's a comprehensive plan, right? Most people that you meet with for the first time, most advisors, they just talk to their clients about investments. You made money, you lost money, see you next year, right? But that's just investments, that's not a plan. By the time you're done with at SHP, you have an investment plan, which is important, but also a tax plan, an income plan, a plan for healthcare, a plan for estate planning and legacy planning. And the key is everything is working together, right? How do you know what your income plan is until you figure out the tax liability? And does that tax liability change your Medicare premiums, right? This all works together. And at SHP, we're not a one-man band. You may see me here today, but trust me, you get an entire team working on your behalf. Specialists working together on each part of your plan.
So I'm sure people at home are thinking, wow, this makes a lot of sense. I need this reassurance, and they want to take action now to make sure that their retirement is on course. So what do they need to do?
Well, first, Jackie, let's figure out where you are now with your savings, your investments, your spending, and whatever plans that you have in place. Help us understand what you want for retirement, and let's work together to make that happen for you. Now, we just don't want the overall goal to be, let's just get by in retirement. As we talked about earlier, we want to see what's actually possible for the families we work with. Now, we don't know anything unless we analyze your plan and understand your situation, but what if you could retire earlier than you thought? What if you could take the entire family on a dream trip once per year, or support that mission, or at a local church? Things you want to do, right? These are possibilities that we look for, and it's all part of our SHP Financial Retirement Roadmap process.
That's so exciting. So how does this work?
First, Jackie, we just need some basic information from you, right? We gather that together. Then we'll take your information and run it through our process to find your current retirement score. Next, our team and I carefully consider the strategies for your specific financial situation. Now, ultimately, this is what can make your money go a lot further in retirement. Many advisors may charge thousands of dollars for a customized plan like this and this analysis, but we won't charge you a dime for this analysis.
Thanks so much, Derek. What a great opportunity that people really need to know about. So if you would like to discover how you can make your money go a lot further in retirement with a free, customized retirement roadmap from SHP Financial, schedule your free analysis now by calling 508-233-4340. That's 508-233-4340. And over the last 20 years, they have helped thousands of Boston area families plan for a better retirement, an exciting future, and now they can help you. There's no cost or obligation, but this offer is only available if you call today. So call 508-233-4340, and minimums do apply. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching Retirement Roadmap TV with Derek Gregoire of SHP Financial. We look forward to seeing you next time, and remember, it's not what you make, it's what you keep.
The previous program was sponsored by SHP Financial.